West Virginia announces the first three kickoff times for their first three games. Let's talk about it.
We got a lot of grit. We got a lot of hardworking people. Don't ever quit. Don't ever quit. West Virginia Mountaineers, don't ever quit. God bless the Mountaineers, and God bless West Virginia.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to your favorite podcast, the Hard Edge Podcast. We're thankful to be here, and thank y'all for all the support y'all have been giving me lately. It makes me really happy, and I'm just so thankful how many subscribers I've gained in the past few months. And I've just been really working really hard, so thank y'all so much. But let's get straight into it. So today we're going to be talking about West Virginia announces the first three kickoff times for the first three games: Coastal Carolina, UT Martin, and Virginia. And they also announced the kickoff time for their last game against Utah. So we'll talk about that. And then I'm making my UT Martin predictions for just the score. I'm not giving any stats this time, but I'm just giving you my score and how the game will turn out. And UT Martin's like what they're good at, what they're bad at, that type of stuff. And then the last segment will be about, this is a little bit funner segment. I know I did a fun segment last time, but we're doing one again because I just love having fun here. So it's going to be my dream West Virginia schedule. And I had a little bit of trouble making this because I didn't want to schedule too many rivals because that would just be too much. But I scheduled a few of them, and I scheduled just a few random games and cupcake games just so we can get some wins too. It's just for fun though. But let's get straight into it, the action here. So West Virginia announces the first three times for the first three games. And just to say lightly, I'm not very happy about these three times. There's one of them I'm kind of happy with, but the other two, no. So I'll show you all this. So the first game against Coastal Carolina, which I will be going to, is at 12 p.m. 12 p.m. That is my least favorite time for a football game because I'm going to that game and we're staying in a resort an hour away. And once I get there, it's going to be almost time to go in. And I like tailgating and walking around, talking to people. But at a 12 p.m. kickoff, you got to be in the stadium for kickoff and the national anthem and the marching band and the entrance. Those are some of my favorite parts of the game. But with the 12 p.m. kickoff time, I still want to tailgate and stuff. So that removes all the fun from tailgating. So that's my thoughts about that. It's going to be on TNT and let's see, HBO Max. And then the next one, UT Martin. This is a little bit better, but still, why so early? I don't get why they can't I don't care what channel it's on. I know it gives us more revenue and more watching and puts us on a bigger stage. But why do they have to put us on so early? Why can't all these games just be a little bit later, 3:30 at least? So the UT Martin one's at 1 p.m., just an hour later, so it's basically the same thing. And then Virginia, this is a pretty good, I like this time here. I'm also going to the Virginia game. 7:30 on ACC Network. And I forgot to say UT Martin's on ESPN+. So I'm excited for the Virginia game. Hopefully we could win that and start off 3-0. And then I'm excited for the Oklahoma State game because hopefully they'll do the stadium like I want them to. So I'm glad they announced these kickoff times to give us a little bit of excitement because there's not much going on right now. It's also pretty hard for me to find news here. But these three games are pretty nice. I don't like the kickoff times, but I like the schedule here. 2 home games and then basically a home game in Charlotte because West Virginia fans travel pretty well. And if y'all want to meet me in Morgantown, just hit me up and we can try to meet up. But there's probably not many people who want to do that with me, but be fun. So let's get to our second segment. We're going straight into this. UT Martin, second game of the season. Already remember my Coastal predictions. If y'all missed that, just go check it out. I had them winning it by a lot. But this one, I think I kind of messed up on the Coastal game because I had Coastal only scoring 10 points. I'm just not sure how good our defense will be this year. And Coastal Carolina is a lot better than UT Martin, because I'm pretty sure UT Martin might be FCS, not sure, but they're definitely not as good as a power school like Coastal Carolina. So I kind of messed up on that. I probably needed to. I think I put our score as pretty good, but their score, I think they're going to score more, 28 points. There's somebody in my comments that made a prediction like 40 something to 28, which I liked his prediction. I can't remember what his name was, but shout out to you. That's a pretty good prediction. But my prediction for this game, I tried to make it more level with the Coastal game, so it wasn't lopsided or something. So my prediction is 48-13. West Virginia wins. UT Martin gets a touchdown and 2 field goals, and we get 2 field goals and whatever most the other touchdowns. And this is just the QB room for UT Martin isn't very good. It's like, okay, they have a QB battle going on. Not sure who, but I just heard around the web that they've had okay QB room, but there's still a battle going on, which means they have 2 pretty good quarterbacks that are battling it out for the starting job. They don't have a very good O-line or D-line. They lost a lot of that in the portal, and they're trying to rebuild that. They're probably their biggest strength is their running attack, led by Armoni Goodwin. He also played at LSU for 3 years, contributing 300 yards for them. In 2022, he averaged 5.5 yards a carry, which is very good. 2 runs, that's a first down. So this guy is a very explosive, short, kind of like a C.J. Donaldson type guy, short power back. He's still got some speed to him, but I think he will be carrying this team when we play them. He will be their star player, kind of like a Michael Hawkins or a Cam Cook. For us, definitely not anywhere on the level as them, but just like on their team, that's who they are. Like, that's their guy. So that is my preview there. I probably will make some stat predictions closer to the season, but I'm going to start doing these every few episodes, just making my short breakdowns of the games. So that's that. And let's get on to our second segment. This is going to be a little bit shorter episode, by the way, so just telling you that. Regionals for West Virginia, where they play Wake Forest and Kentucky and some other school I can't even remember the name of because I'm not really into baseball, but sold out already. I know the game's tonight, but it was sold out by 2 days ago. It's going to be a packed out game, standing room only. The first game is going to be pitched by Chase and Cole, and the second game will be Max Yale, the Big 12 player, the Big 12 pitcher of the year. And my prediction, if y'all missed it, West Virginia will be going to the Super Regionals. And I'll just recap what I said, just in a little bit shorter words. I said, if UCLA loses, which is very unlikely because they have only lost 5 games this year, but if they lose, we're going to the World Series. That's, mark my words, if UCLA loses, 100% we're going to the World Series. I don't care who comes out of that other regional. We're going to beat them. That's a weak regional. Other than UCLA, I think we could beat anybody else in that regional. Virginia Tech and the other schools in there, I feel like Virginia Tech would lead out of the pack after UCLA lost. And I still think we could beat Virginia Tech. We could whip them. We could whip them. And play them at home in Morgantown and go straight to the World Series. So that's that. So, what do y'all think? What do y'all think is going to happen? Because I know my prediction's a little bit feisty and a little bit, maybe I'm a little bit too excited about this West Virginia team. But I just don't know. What do y'all think? Put it down in the comments. So, if we made the World Series, would y'all be able to travel to Omaha? I know I'm not going to Omaha. That's way, way, way out of my way. But would y'all go there? First time we go into the World Series, would y'all go? I don't think I'd go. But I wish it was a little bit closer, but I know that's a very historic site and just a very good place for baseball. But they probably I don't know. I wonder if we did make the World Series, there'd be anybody showing up for West Virginia. But let's get straight into the next segment. My dream schedule for West Virginia. My dream schedule. So I'm basically going off the same schedule as this year, like the same amount of home games. I put a neutral site game in there and 4 away games. So I'm going to get straight into it. I have my little sheet right here I'm going to put right here on my screen so I don't have to keep looking down because that's kind of been a problem for me in the past few seconds. Alright, so first game, this one's not too special, but it's against a Power 5 opponent, which I thought was important. We don't have any cupcake games on this schedule this year for this thing. I don't have any, cupcakes. Although this one you could maybe count as a cupcake, but it's still a power team. So, my first game is Akron at home. That's nothing too special. Akron's one of the worst teams historically. And even if they're Power 5, they should probably be some of the teams that should be downgraded back to FCS. Hot take there. I feel like the last few years, they haven't won more than 3 games. That could be just me, but I feel like I haven't heard much from their program. So, probably start 1-0 there. And I made this schedule hard, too, because I want us to be relevant. Even if we're bad that year that this schedule was played in, we'll still have some good games. So, the second game against Tennessee and Charlotte. We played them in 2019 and beat them. Cooked them. It was a show. It was a dog show there. We got some dogs showing out there. We cooked Tennessee, and it was hopping there. All kinds of Morgantown fans in Charlotte. Morgantown people travel to Charlotte. So, can maybe start 2-0, but Tennessee is very good. But in Charlotte, you don't know what can happen in Charlotte. So, third game, Virginia Tech at home. We haven't played Virginia Tech since, I think, 2021. I think that's when. 2022. We beat them with Neil Brown, and that was an upset win. I think they were ranked 22nd in the country, and Neil Brown, that was his only top 25 win, which just makes you think about how bad of a coach he was. Only one top 25 win in 5 years, 6 years. Think about if he was the coach back in Pat White days. Instead of Dana Holgorsen, after Rich Rod, and Neil Brown. Imagine that. You all just went from winning 10-plus games a year for, a few years straight, and then coming to Neil Brown coming in, everybody's like, woo, woo, yippee, yippee-ki-yay. And then he's coming in, trust the climb, and they only win 9 games. That's their max win. And all the other years is 7 and below. With 2 of the years just going 6 wins. Think about how those Morgantown people will be feeling after all that good winning. All that winning, all the trophies, the rings. And then Neil Brown. You get a Duke's Mayo Bowl trophy. I bet people will be really excited about that. Duke's Mayo. I'm just joking. But that's just something to think about. So Virginia Tech at home, and then our fourth game is NC State away. Because I just thought this would be a fun game for me and Carter to talk about. If y'all don't know who Carter is, one of my friends, when I just started the podcast, he was my first guest on the show. I'm sorry about this. I don't know why it always does this. Just give me 1 second. Oh, sorry. But he was one of my first guests on the show, and he hasn't showed up since. I don't know. He might be scared of me now since I've gained a lot of subscribers. But for my first guest, we talked about NC State and West Virginia. That was one of my first podcasts, I think. But I think my quality has gotten a lot better since then. So NC State away, I think that'd be fun. And that's pretty close to me, so I could go there pretty quickly. A lot closer than Morgantown to me. And then fifth game, this would be a kind of another cupcake right now. But back in the day, this wouldn't be a cupcake. But it's another Power 5 team. Boston College away. I think that would be a good game. Because we don't want to have too many home games in a row, but we don't want too many away games in a row. I scheduled this, so we'd have away stretches and home stretches. So we wouldn't be like traveling back and forth and back and forth and then spending so much time on buses we get tired and stuff. So that one. And then this one I think would be cool. It's our Big 12 opening. This is when the first team we played when we came into the Big 12. Can y'all think of it? Baylor. So Baylor at home. I told you I wasn't doing too many rivalries, but I did a few. So Baylor at home, I think this would be really cool. Just for the memories and historic memories, and with Geno Smith and all the other guys, I think that'd just be cool. After playing this historic schedule that I made. And then my seventh game of the year will be Cincinnati away. It's a close bus ride. Don't even have to fly. I think that'd be good. And then this next one is another away stretch where we probably would lose. I probably didn't schedule this one very good. 2 away games in a row, and this is a really tough environment. Penn State away. But we want this team to be relevant. So we want this team to be on ESPN, Fox, CBS. We want this team to be on the big networks, to be on the center stage of college football. So this could be a rebuild year for them, but they'll still be making that money, that TV money. So then 9, we got Oklahoma at home. For more memories from Tavon Austin, we ran for 500 yards, all purpose, and then we still lost it, which I don't think that one catch, he didn't touch the ground. Don't know what y'all think about that, but I think that we should have won that game, and I've rewatched it many times, and he definitely caught it, and that's a very controversial call by the refs. And then Oklahoma at home, and then Pitt at home. 10th game of the year. Gonna be cold out. Maybe not many people show up because maybe we've lost a few games before, but I think that's a good spot for Pitt. Not too early in the season so we could get excited for it, and not too late in the season where it's so cold that you're freezing your butt off sitting in those metal stands. So I think that's a good spot for that. And then the last 2 games I scheduled easier opponents than the last 10. So we could end on a good note, because I know on the past few years in WV football, we haven't ended on a good note. Like last year, the past 2 years, we've ended on a Texas Tech team, which I don't think we should have did that, because if we had Texas Tech earlier in the season, we could lose on a good note and then win a few games at the end of the year. Well, this one, we won a few games at the end of the year, and then just ended on a bad note, losing horribly to Texas Tech, not scoring any points. So I put this schedule to have just a few cupcakes at the end. Not cupcakes, maybe ice cream cakes. What am I talking about? So these are just a little bit easier games, not like a Penn State or a Texas or an Oklahoma. So we got UCF away. I think that's always a fun game to go to because it's a little bit closer, but not too far away. Not too far away, not too close. So it's right in the middle. Plane ride. We got a big alumni base in, where's that? Orlando. And then Rutgers at home. That's a historic game. And then I think that was Pat White's last game. The whiteout where it's all snowy. I think that's the game it was. Not sure. No, wait, that was South Florida. I'm sorry. But I think Rutgers, we played in the top 15. That's the top 15 teams we played the most. And I think that'd just be a fun game, and it could probably be one we would win. So, ending the season on a good note is always one of the most important things for a team nowadays. So let's say you started the season 6-0. People are really hyped. But then you lose your last 6 games. Ooh, coach is on a hot seat. But let's say you lost the first 6 games and then won the last 6. That's a totally different story. Now y'all are on a winning streak and y'all have momentum. So it's kind of like the same thing here. Winning and losing the last game of the year is a big thing. So that's why I put those last 2 games. So let's just count up how many games I think with this year's roster we'd win. Okay, so Akron at home, I think we'd win this one. I'm going to use my pencil to write it down. There's 1 win. It's 1-0. And then a Tennessee game. We'll wait to the end to do that one. And then the Virginia Tech game, I think we'll do 2-0. And then the NC State game, I think they're good this year, but I think their defense is unstable, and their offense might be a little. This is a toss-up game. Had to flip a coin, but I'll give that 3-0. 4-0 at Boston College. Let's drop a game to Baylor. 4-1. And then Cincinnati, I think we'll win that 5-1. Penn State loses that one 5-2. And then Oklahoma at home, maybe 5-3. Pitt at home, we're definitely winning that one. I thought it's interesting how many times we've won at home to Pitt. I feel like it's every time the home team plays. When Pitt plays at home, they win. West Virginia plays at home, we win. It's been happening for the past 10 years. Whoever plays at home wins. It's not really historic. Like, that's not happened in years before, but the last 10 or 5 years, it's been whoever's been playing at home has been winning. So that's just something to think about in the future. So I'm ready for that 2028 game to see if that streak continues, to see if Pitt wins at home. So we're 5-3 right now going into the Pitt game, so that's 6-3. And then 7-3 at UCF. And then 8-3 at Rutgers. So that's what I'm talking about. Those last few games, you could have a rough stretch right there with the Penn State, Oklahoma games. And then you could just go on out and win the last few and have momentum. And then last game we didn't mark. Tennessee. What to flip a coin here? I'm just going to use something here. Flip a stapler? No. Okay, I'm just going to say we'll lose that. Make it more realistic. So 8-4. Would y'all be happy with that? With this schedule, you probably can't see it because it's inverted, but with this schedule going 8-4, I think that's really good. I think people would have hype. If we did that this year, I'd be perfectly fine. This year, even with our schedule this year, not this mock one, if we went 7-5, I'd be perfectly happy. 7-5 with a bowl win, or 6-6 with a bowl win, I'd be perfectly fine with. Anything above 6 wins, I'm happy with, because the past few years we haven't gone above six wins. That's crazy to think about. It's been 3 years since we've won more than 6 games. We haven't had a winning record in 3 years, too. So, thank you all for watching. I had a ton of fun filming this one. Might have been a little bit boring episode. This one probably isn't my best episode. Kind of was out of nowhere. Not much we're talking about. Real sports, just a little bit more fun episode. Maybe some of y'all like this. But thanks. Maybe share with friends. Drop a like. Comment down below. I love hearing y'all's thoughts. So, thank you all for watching. And have a great day. Peace.